Andrew Yang. His parents taught him about hope and hard work, a leader in education. Andrew Yang, the founder of Venture for America, a nonprofit that helped create thousands of jobs. President Obama named Andrew a champion of change. And
welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are having a great day. So, person like me who doesn't watch a lot of television, it's unfortunate because I've missed many of the Andrew Yang television ads. And today I want to talk about the effectiveness of the Andrew Yang TV ads that have been running. How are they looking? Do we think it's going to be effective? So, I could tell you this last ad, A New Way Forward, that's the one a lot of people are talking about. It looks great. I mean, it looks like something off of I don't know. It kind of felt like one of those movie trailers or something, right? Just really well done. Like probably one of the best presidential campaign ads I've ever seen. So great job on that. But I want to talk about like what was the full effect, I think, and how it goes over with possible voters for Andrew. So I'm kind of torn a little bit how to address it psychologically, because when Andrew Yang came on the campaign, we got to remember a lot of his the beginning of his campaign and how he gained had to do with this very shocking message hitting us about automation, and what's going to need to be done about it is nothing is more effective than just giving out direct cash, a direct cash injection. And Andrew Yang, in my opinion, is absolutely right. There's never going to be a better way to deal with a problem that's clear and present than probably a direct cash attack on it. So what's interesting about this ad is that you don't hear about really anything about the $1,000 per month, which has been his signature platform, right? So much so that people tried to make it like that was the only policy he had. Now they've kind of gotten away from that, and Andrew Yang's, you can see his campaign is shaping up. It's starting to look more like a more traditional presidential campaign ad in the feel of it. Now, this is good in many ways, I think, because what we've gotten with somebody like Donald Trump over the last 4 years has been total reality TV, right? It's been total shock TV, or for lack of a better word. And I think what started to happen, whereas in the beginning, this was something shiny and new for American people to see politicians acting this way, and we kind of latched on to that. I think Trump ran it into the ground so much that now people are kind of afraid, right? It's almost like Americans went, okay, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to have a complete this type of complete opposite of what we expect from our presidential candidates. We've seen the most outrageous things with Trump, and maybe that's a bit too much for us, to the point we don't necessarily want to see this again. So by Andrew doing this more traditional feel ad and just showing, I think, voters that he does have other issues. It's a very interesting take because it just focuses on everything other than him. And I think that's a bit clever as I'm thinking more about it, because a lot of people who came into recognition of Andrew Yang know him on the Freedom Dividend, $1,000 per month. So you're probably looking to hear that drummed in again, that the guy that's trying to give us free money. And this ad went a total different way. It focused on the parts of Andrew Yang other than that he's going to need to be president, right? The other issues, right? It did a great job of that. So in that way, I have to agree and feel like this is a great television ad for Andrew. Now, the only other problem is if you even go back to the time of the Romans, the Roman Empire, right? Some people feel that over the centuries of antiquity, people change dramatically. Some people feel the more we change, the more we remain the same. And as we look at a lot of the entertainment that you look at somebody like some people like the early Romans who would watch these gladiatorial games, right, and see all of this kind of shock TV and this brutal scene this in the arena, similar to what we do when we watch our television sets. Human beings psychologically are still quite open to a lot of the shock television, the drama, the surprising things, the outrageous things. And the reason I'm saying all that, I think I'm saying all that to say that if this would have been an ad where Andrew would have just been drumming down the $1,000 per month, and that would have been what the whole ad was about. As crazy as that sounds, and I know the group that put together this ad might have thought about that and said, well, that's the last thing we want to do because that's what got Andrew Yang to this point so far. At the same time, the American psyche, based on its history and what we choose for our number one television shows and a lot of our culture and society, it is also possible that if there was a message like that, I think that people would be more, in some sense, drawn to the Andrew Yang campaign. And there's something very strong and powerful about that freedom dividend message being drawn there because it's so outrageous to so many people. I think it is enough to kind of push a lot of people over the edge, right? And you might say, well, I don't know about that, but that is what happened with Donald Trump, right? The more outrageous Donald Trump got, the more people flocked to him and the more that worked. So by Andrew Yang kind of toning it down a lot on the freedom dividend and really focusing on being this more normalized political candidate in that way, is it more helpful? Possibly with the destruction we've seen with Donald Trump, right? Is it enough to get to give that extra push to independents to pull them over? Maybe if many of them could only look at Andrew Yang as the $1,000 man. But so far, I think it looks great. I like it, but I like it because I've been following Andrew Yang all these years, and I've seen every side of Andrew Yang, right? Now, a person who doesn't know Andrew Yang enough or well enough, is this ad enough to get them to come out and vote for him, get them behind him? I don't know if this ad will be enough, right? I think it's enough for people who already know Andrew Yang. I think it's enough for the independents who are following Andrew Yang pretty well. Those people who haven't quite still been introduced to Andrew Yang, I think it's enough for them to maybe see him in that way, right? But it's kind of tough because we've moved, I think, a lot psychologically from Donald Trump now. It's not the same as it was back in 2016. Now people are thinking a lot more clearly. So they might not want to see all these this outrageousness. But do I kind of wish we could have got that $1,000 a month thing pushed in there at the end? You know what I think would have been cool? This is just me. Everything was perfect with this. I would have loved something crazy like at the very end of the ad for Andrew Yang to kind of turn around and say, and the $1,000 freedom dividend or something like that. Just to, I would have loved to see that. But it's going to be more television ads. We got to keep donating to Andrew. We got to keep getting money into there because, this costs a lot of money, right? Running a presidential campaigns costs a lot of money. getting that information out there is tremendous cost of money. And so they're going to need money to be able to keep these ads going. And we get another ad. Maybe that next ad will talk about the freedom dividend. Maybe because it's been so much about the freedom dividend, the entire Andrew Yang campaign, that it was just necessary to focus in on the American people that, oh yeah, and you know what? This is the kind of president we are. We're still that president who is dealing with all of the other issues, right? And the freedom dividend is just one issue to address a serious problem looming here on our horizon, right? I thought it was fantastic. Really, really loved it. Guys, tell me what you all think. Do you think the ad was effective, or would you have liked to still see Andrew Yang kind of doubling down on the $1,000 a month freedom dividend, just to remind people, I become president. This is a reality. You're going to get that extra $1,000 a month, make your lives easier, because there's nothing more effective, like Andrew said, than that direct cash injection into the economy, into your direct lives, and how you deal with that. How important is that? Should it have been highlighted a little bit more in this campaign, or is it just fine as it is, and we'll get more down the line? Comment below, let us know. If you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget our own Universal Basic Income project we're doing using blockchain technology. It is global. This is a passion project of mine that I'm using cryptocurrency to do with the community. And so far it's going very well. Having fun with the community. A lot of fun. Make sure you all join the website. We'll leave a link in the description. And until next time, take care.